player from Rogue, indeed. Thank you, monsieur. Thank you, Comp, for joining me after this game.
My pleasure.
Congrats on a week here for Rogue. Is there anything that changed after the first 2 games you had to come up with better results this week?
Yeah, so basically after the disaster that happened in week 1, like the first 2 games, especially the G2 game, because in a way I feel like we were the ones that lost the Fnatic game when we threw on blue buff and they just took Nash and ended the game. But the G2 game we just got stomped kinda. So after that night, like after the game, we just gathered up and we had a team talk. And we just discussed like what we thought was going wrong and why we started like this. And I think it was actually pretty useful coming into even like tomorrow's next game when we're playing Mud. So yeah, I mean, it's always really nice when people can just be open about anything, even if it's like, even if it's bad stuff, let's say. It can be anything. Like as long as we are honest, I feel like it's so much easier to improve, you know?
Was it difficult for you guys to be honest with each other before that? Because when I think of Rogue, the team that reached final last split, for me it's hard to have this understanding. Okay.
No, we were not. Even in spring, we're like really fine, right? It's just, we just started kind of bad and we just felt like we should address some stuff. And it was like, it was honestly really nice, right? Because everyone just took it as he should. And yeah, it's always nice to be taking critics and not be like too feeling bad about it or something.
Yeah, and it's just 2 games, right? And it feels like you guys are back on top. Although this game versus Astralis was really interesting, and when I talked to Odo about it last night, he also told me that they shouldn't be underestimated. What did you think about their approach here, and especially the draft that they chose against you?
Well, to be honest, I feel like Astralis are way more flexible the way they drafted. Even in week 1, if I'm not mistaken, they played Veigar, right, into Senna. So we expected them to play some random set into Senna, right, if we picked it. So we were ready for it. But what they did today was kind of smart. They denied us the Senna, the Seraphine, which we played yesterday. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. I feel like if I would change something for today's game, it's probably like, I would probably ban Pyke, because this guy was just so annoying with it. He played Predator and he was just everywhere on the map, right? So it was kind of hard for my mid lane and top lane to play the game, early game.
Any more that you can say about Astralis support, Jonghoon? Because everyone was talking about him on social media, and his Pyke especially, he's been popping off so far in the LEC.
I actually don't know much about the guy, so I don't want to like just say random stuff. But from what he's shown in the first 5 games or 6 games of the LEC, he looks pretty promising, right? And yeah. It's cool to play against him, I guess.
Another strong support to add to the list in Europe. Last question, though, about the bot lane. As you mentioned, you can play some weird stuff bot lane right now. What do you make of the meta and what do you think about it?
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear
Bot lane meta, what do you think about it?
Meta? So, I mean, I feel like top tier are for sure the picks that get banned every time, like Lucian, Kalista, and Zeri. But I'm actually like, I think people start to realize that not every team and every player can play those champs at the top level. So that's why we see oftenly those champs being open also, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say like as the top tier picks. But after that, it's honestly very flexible. What you can play, you can go from like Twitch to Senna to even some random stuff like Kobe did this game with the Seraphine bot lane.
Yeah. You can have a lot of fun on the bot lane right now, it feels. And it feels good to have the game like this. But Comp, thank you so much
for
the interview. Congrats on this week. And as you see, these guys are getting ready behind me. We're going to take a break now and we'll be back in just a couple minutes for BDS Fnatic. Stay tuned.